the APP candidate in the person of Ambassador Chioke Huo has proved himself beyond reasonable doubt to be an outstanding candidate. And like I said, no person within the right frame of mind for now would want to contest against him, because he is actually the one that has been chosen to pioneer the affairs of the local government level come October 5th. So we all are Ghanaian support for him, and irrespective of the party. Like I told you before now, it's a movement, a simplified movement, which means the APP are there to support him, the PDP are there to support him, the YPP are there to support him, and so on and so forth.
There are issues. We'll come to what you might not be in the best place to respond to this question since you're not in the APP. But there have been questions with regards to the activities and developmental activities in Akpor local government area. Okay. And there are many that bring up these questions because they feel that more could have been done. Just yesterday, I was speaking with the NYCN chairman in Akokotoro, and we were looking at what the CTC chairman in Akokotoro had done before his suspension and what the situation was and what it is. And in Akpor, as much as a lot of people have raised, said quite some good stuff about the CTC chairman, there are still many that are not very comfortable with how activities and developmental activities have been carried out in that council. So I'm going to be putting out a few of the concerns. There are those that have worries about double taxation, touts, if you want to call them, especially at Rumokoro. There is the street trading problem that's really huge. We also have illegal motor parks operating, and many thought that, well, these things should have been taken care of. Did your party see these things as concerns, or it doesn't mean much? Okay,
to make all long story short, I think those people that are actually bringing up these topics of double taxations and the others are actually people that may not mean well.
These are drivers that we spoke with. I could get the voices that say that they have people who hold their cars, collect monies from them ranging from 10,000 up to about 30,000 naira.
Yes, like I said, most of these people actually perpetrating this crime, because I know very well it's a crime. It's not actually the instituted bodies that have been taxed with the activity of collecting taxations and the others in those regions per se. Remember, this is actually a position that is barely 2.5 months. And on the table of the local government chairman, the CTC chairman, he has a whole lot of things to attend to prior to this election period. And I'm sure one of the things he is going to be tackling at the assumption of his seat is actually one of these things you've mentioned. I've had quite some number of complaints also going on around those areas, and I'm sure he also has had the complaints of these particular perpetrators doing these things, and I'm sure he's also going to take it within his own capabilities to put things in order when he assumes office. Now, for now, he doesn't have that particular I would call it knowledge of all the happenings going on there, because he has assigned 1 or 2 or 3 more people to undergo and undertake that particular task as to making sure that place moves as planned.
Then we can say that those people are not doing a very good job. Because I go to that place. I mean, in fact, to get to the council, you would pass that road and you would see the street trading, which is, something else. And many thought that, well, these are supposed to be few of the things. Yes, I think I remember he did something with regards to taxes.
Yes, slashing
taxes. Yes. Well, I can't tell whether the effect of that was really felt by the traders, because I was spoken much about it with them. But then we see the street trading, which is illegal, and has not been addressed as it ought to be.
Okay, my brother, to let you also know, like I said, he is an entity that obeys the rule of law. He has actually given this mandate to some people that have been assigned to do this. I believe those people perpetrating this crime within that region are people that want to deface his regime, are people that want to paint him black, and also they are not acting under his instructions. I believe he's a man that actually wants to better the lives of people, especially the people that actually needs help. Within that particular area, I've come across touts that go there to do illegal activities. And I'm sure in no distance time, the attention of the authorities in charge would be called upon to handle those things.
We hope that the people that are mandated, if they're not doing a great job, they are fired. Or they
of course,
released.
he's a man of no nonsense.
Beyond that, there's also the political angle. I mean, you say your party doesn't have a chairmanship candidate.
Yes.
And you've said, I don't know if the APP had announced the CTC chairman as their candidate.
Okay.
Have they?
Okay, like I said, this has always been the contention so far. And our principal officer, which is the amiable governor of the state, have given instructions to that effect. And I'm sure by now every other person has fallen in line with that particular instruction he has given. So I believe any moment from now, the news as regards to the local government council chairmanship position will be made on air, and everybody will be well.
Because I'm hearing
along.
from you the first time that he is the candidate of the APP, and I've always thought he was a member of the PDP. So,
okay, let me.
So, and then there are the accusations even that he is working with Honorable Aaron, who's the chairman of the PP, following the Congress that they held, and there are talks of family ties that could, be fostering that working relationship.
Okay, my brother, I would want to make something straight. In as much as I'm not in the best position to give you an answer to this, I will just tell you my quota from the grassroots level. In terms of the simplified movement, we're all working for one purpose, and that is bringing lasting democracy. Not the kind of democracies our predecessors have left behind. We are trying to making sure that whatever we are bringing on the table is for the betterment of the people of the state. Now, bringing this instrument of APP, PDP, and others, let me just let you know one good thing. I am of the YPP, but I'm giving him my support from the local government level. That's just because from the local government level, the YPP has not given us what it takes to lead us from the local government level, okay?
Isn't that considered as anti-party by your party?
No, it's a movement. Like I said, you get
so
the APC.
There's no more anti-party activity.
No. So we are working for the collective progress of the state at large. Like I told you before now, the predecessor that has done his work in River State and left has actually marred the political structure of the state. I would say he has infiltrated it on the wrong side. So what our amiable governor is trying to do is to bring every well-meaning citizens of the state together in fostering lasting democracy, such that people will go out of their way in electing an individual, not a party. So if you, for example, is from the SDP party, for example, and I'm from the YPP side, for example, and I see that you're capable of propelling us from the present state we're in to a better state, I would go out of my way to giving you the support from the angle you're coming from. Like I said before now, the YPP doesn't have a local government chairmanship candidate. So for now, I am saying it that through all parties, the most qualified, the most presentable person is our amiable CTC chairman, and we are working by it.
So, something to take out from what you said was that the FCT minister has erased the lines between party loyalist and anti-party activities. Are you saying that this idea of opposition political parties and the others supporting a different candidate from a different political party was birthed by the FCT minister?
The FCT minister is a two-faced man. Everybody knows, in as much as he is a PDP candidate, he has actually in several occasions played an anti-party game. From the presidential election we observed in Nigeria.
We'll come to this and get more of your opinion about this, but let's take a very quick commercial. Just keep that in mind. When we return, you conclude your thoughts on this one. Stay with us.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info.
on the morning crossfire, and my guest is still very much with us, Prince Precious Wakohu, Assistant Secretary of the NYCN. Akpor is also the campaign chairman for YPP Ward 6. A few messages on Facebook Live before we go on to my guest. I will say that many of the CTC chairmen tried their best based on their understanding of what empowerment is and the mandate given to them by their principal. I want the incoming chairman to look beyond what the CTC chairmen have done, because they would have enough time. Odepeli Gosoka says, if former governor secured victory for APC in Rivers State 2023 presidential election, then those contesting on APP are on course. Samson Oji says, the people that your guest says he's a candidate for political party and at the same time saying he's part of Simplified family. He is waiting for the election to be concluded so he could be the first to shout congratulations to the winner. We know them. This one says, we are with the APP now. Lawrence Friday says, I would say that I think we had that one before on Facebook Live. All right, keep sending in your messages on Facebook Live. I'll take the much that I can. We'll also open the phone lines in a matter of moments. But first, two questions still to respond to. The first one before the break, you were alluding to the fact that the anti-party, there is no more anti-party activity, that's what you call it. And you said the FCT minister is to blame for that.
Okay, like I said, from the grassroots, we have been taught by our principal officer, the executive governor of the state, to play politics with conscience. We as grassroots, if we don't play politics with conscience, the country will be plunged into disaster in no distance time.
Sorry, you say conscience. Let me just put in something.
Okay.
But there are many people that say that if you're not simplified, you do not benefit from things that happen at the grassroots. Is that correct?
Yes, because the most important initiative of the Simplified family is conscience. Like, I want to cite an example.
Must everybody be a simplified?
If you're not simplified, you don't have conscience. So why should you benefit?
So who is not simplified? So I'm not simplified. I can't benefit from something if I'm from that community.
You have not gone down to the grassroots to knowing the particular what it entails to be a simplified family. Because when you do, you would see we're on the right course. We are playing a politics with conscience. We don't want people to give us the same kind of politics that have degenerated the state of the country to this state we are in.
But many communities will feel, well, I'm from this community. I'm entitled to whatever the government, if the government is doing something, I should be a part of it. I mustn't belong to a political party before,
everybody cannot be a politician.
Or support the government before I benefit from whatever it is that the government is doing. So I'm pretty sure that many people today will benefit from whatever the president will do, did not vote for the president.
Of course.
So why can't that be the situation at the grassroots?
The most important thing, my brother Ifemi, is everybody cannot be a politician. Okay? Now, if you are actually playing politics and you feel that as a politician, whether you become a simplified member or not, you're still entitled to any benefit that comes thereto. It means that for you to fight against the party or the movement, for example, the simplified movement, and you know exactly what the simplified movement entails, it means if you fight and you fight yourself to a standstill, you may not be able to benefit from something you didn't invest in. That's just the truth. But when you are not a politician, because we know politics is a matter of interest or a game of interest, then if you fight the movement and the movement actually defeats you, what do you expect? You go home. You go back to your drawing board. It's either you join the movement or you accept being defeated by the movement. But if you're not a politician and you're not a simplified member, you are entitled by nature to every good that comes out of it. Because like I said before I started, everybody cannot be a politician at the same time.
All right, so it brings us back to the politics of conscience.
Yes.
And you saying that the anti-party activities was birthed by the FCT minister, and that's what we're seeing now.
Yes, that's exactly what I am saying, it with all form of alacrity. I wasn't actually an active politician until the FCT minister decided to give our most amiable governor the heat from last year. You see, until we get an answer to the question asked, we will not back down. What has our amiable governor done to deserve all these disturbances? And until you give us an answer to it, my brother Ifemi, in every right conscience thinking person, I'm sure the first question the person should be asking when you say, let us join hands and fight this person, the first question should be, what has this person done? In every right thinking person, you need to also evaluate what the person has done to knowing or to seeing if actually it is worth fighting for. For example, you projected someone because it's a matter of interest, and the person wants to think outside the box. A good father will allow his son to think outside the box. That's the case of our former governor and the recent amiable governor. The truth is, the man wants to think outside the box and give us something new. But his predecessor is on about so many things that he cannot explain to us. And until he does that, my brother, we will not back down. He has decided to cause turmoil in making sure that this man's reign does not yield anything good for the state. Now, if he really means well for the state, he would have allowed the state to be at a place of place of peace, at least for now. Then 2027, you can now give us reasons beyond any doubt that he is not the man in charge. Why give him issues when there's no issues? As for us from the grassroots, we are bent on defending the cause of the state to the latter.
Well, I'll come to this. It's this tone that makes a lot of people wonder how the local government election would look like. And many people have concerns. I'll take some messages and a few calls now. And then we'll come back to even finding out. If you are going to, well, you say it's not anti-party, but then many would say it's anti-party activity. Movement. If the YPP is saying that it does not have a candidate, it's going to support the candidate of another party. Like I said, the APP had not officially made any announcement which candidate is, so I don't know. But if you are doing that, do you think you have what it takes to also deliver your own candidates at the various other offices that they would be contesting for in the course of the election? And even much more important is, how do we ensure the peace of this coming election? For some people, they don't think it would be a very peaceful affair, even though that's what we hope for. So you'd respond to this, but first, let's take a few calls. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. Again, the numbers are 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Thank God Ability says, by the grace of God, all APP candidates will surely win their elections. Thank God Ability sent that. Does this mean that all the candidates from the APP, who perhaps some of them have been said to come from the PDP, are no longer members of the PDP? This one says, Andrew, I'm ashamed. How could your guest suggest that one must be simplified to benefit? River State is gone. The same thing that the accused deputy minister of is what they are doing. Well, he was trying to explain what he meant. I hope you listened to it completely and got what he was saying. If Chijioke is now the flag bearer of APP, well, APP has not said, like I said, I've not seen any official document from them. Have you considered the electoral law that says you must be a card-carrying member at least for 6 months before contesting? Tell us if the governor is aware of Chijioke joining another party. Umaso from Erema sent that one in. Ida from Nkoro says, Andrew, good morning. Greetings to your guest in the studio. He's doing well. Let us congratulate Inyada. We hope that his good works will bring him back. Chima from Rumokuta, let's start with you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Chima, go on.
Mr. Ifemi,
Yes.
your guest at the studio who claims to be the chairman of campaign team to a particular party, the Wadifu party, you could see that he hardly mentioned the person that he is campaigning for. He hardly mentioned. That's a very big disgrace to the height. And there's an agenda now in River State. If you do not insult the FCC minister, you cannot hold any position. The interview there, how does it concern the FCC minister? That man will be there insulting him. Okay, let's down at his name.
Chima, I'll take exception to that comment. Nobody insulted anybody. If an insult was raised, I would have corrected him. He did not insult anybody, so please don't use the wrong words. Yes, thank you.
Yesterday night there was a big chaos in government house. Chioke was induced. He was induced to be the candidate of that party, APP, because as I told you before, as of the day for yesterday, he wasn't the candidate. But what happened yesterday in government house, you will not believe your eyes.
Chima, were you in government house?
As a candidate. Now, if you want to talk about the politics in River State, it is not jamboree. Your guest has already told you. There is a movement, and you must be a member of that movement for you to partake. Is that politics again? It's not politics. It is not even democracy.
All right, Chima.
We are playing simplified crazy. That's what we are doing in River State.
All right, let's go to Ezekiel.
To where we don't know.
All right, let's go to Ezekiel, but quickly, just to state, Chima's position about chaos or whatever in the government house is not from Nigeria Info. I don't know if it was in government house. We were not there, and we've not gotten any news of any chaos that happened in government house yesterday. Ezekiel from Obimini, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
Yeah, go on.
And good morning to your guest in the studio.
Good morning.
I have a question for your guest. He said that Simplify Group is a movement and not a political party, right? But why is it that APC members are not in that movement? Because if I should follow by his explanation, I think he had mentioned some members of another party outside PDP. Why is APC members are not in that group? Then I want to add my suggestion that I think the pattern and style of their politicking in this dispensation had contaminated the democratic system in this our whole things called or known as politics. Imagine where you would be in another party and boldly accepting to vote or to be campaigning for another person in another party. I think if this is the way River State should be going on with their politics, they are different from other states in Nigeria.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Susie from Erema, good morning.
Andrew, good morning.
Yes, Susie.
Well, I think I do not want to bother my head with who is in another political party and conducting elections with another political party. But I am so baffled with the predicate your guest used that if you are not a member of Simplified Family, and he was trying to justify by explaining the difference between a politician and all of that. For me, it is actually a contradiction because he has shot himself on the foot when he said that if you are not a member of Simplified Movement, that you are fighting the struggle and you're fighting the movement, you fight yourself out. Politics is actually of a slippery slope. Different opinions are supposed to be there. That is how the state is wired. From the Socratic era to Plato to Aristotle up to today, which we are in contemporary era. You cannot tell me that somebody must be a member of a movement in a democratic era for you to benefit in a state where resources are generated from different communities and families. And what of those who are not also members of political parties? Are they not supposed to benefit? And when this same thing is played to you tomorrow somewhere, you will be the same person to complain. It is very, very unfortunate. I we should mind the way we play this politics.
All right, Susie, thank you very much.
Asset that a government should have, and you cannot do without an opposition.
Susie, thank you very much. We'll take more calls. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. While we wait on that call, let's get your response. I was asking, how is this? I mean, many people are already saying, well, this would be seen as anti-party, but majorly is, if you are saying that, you don't have a candidate, so you support another candidate for another party when the time comes, knowing that you also have the ones that you're supposed to work for as a political party, how is that going to work?
Okay, to respond mostly to the widely asked question there before I go over to you is, with due respect our viewers and listeners, I am not actually saying you must be a simplified member before you benefit whatever you need to benefit from the state. What I am trying to say, it's clear. Everybody cannot be a politician. The ones that are the politicians have their critics. They also have their supporters. In this simplified movement, for record purpose, we have the APC members in it. We have the PDP members in it. We have the YPP, we have the APP, we have the SDP, and so on and so forth. Now, these people are people playing politics with conscience. And the conscience of every well-thinking person is to know when something is wrong and when something is right. We all have seen that from the state level, we voted in our amiable governor last year, and from the national level, even in the state, an APC presidential candidate emerged. Now, what do you call that? When our Oga that left the seat, the former governor, gave us from the national level an APC person, and from the state level a PDP person from the same state. What do you call that? He's trying to play his own kind of politics that has favored him, but now the simplified family is playing a politics with conscience. When something is not right, it is not right. Like before now, we all observed that from the local government level, the supposed YPP local government chairmanship candidate doesn't meet up the prescribed criteria that will keep him there. And we are seeing that from this other angle, our brother, the amiable CTC chairman, can do the work better. Because we have conscience, we decided to also explain to the YPP candidate that, please, sir, allow this young man in the person of Ambassador Shioke to carry on the task of pioneering the affairs of the local government angle. Then on the ward angle, we have our brother, Honorable Bright Eke. He is the YPP aspirant. We have also seen from the conscience part of it that the person that has been projected to undertake the task of the Ward 6 councillorship section doesn't meet up with the criteria, doesn't beat the ambience of this our YPP candidate. And we are also playing the politics of conscience, trying to also let our candidates, our supporters, and every other person that means well for Ward 6 to know that our brother, Honorable Bright Eke, can do the work better. This is plain politics with conscience. So if they can understand me very well, I'm not saying they'll be deprived of their fundamental rights as citizens of River State. All I'm trying to say is not everybody will be a politician. We cannot empower in the political sector someone that does not key into our vision. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they will not be provided with the fundamentals of the state they stay in. So we are playing a politics of conscience. So they have access
to the dividends of democracy.
Very much well.
But within the game of the politics,
we cannot
if they
empower.
do not align with the belief, they can't.
We cannot. It's like it's like feeding a lion that will come back to eating you later.
We don't have a lot of time, so I'll just see if I can squeeze in Obed from Port Harcourt quickly. Obed, very quickly, what's your question?
Thank you very much, Andrew. And let me commend your guest. He has indeed spoken extensively. I want him to do one thing for me, and that is tell the governor that we need a kind of different empowerment with what is news to know for. We don't have complaints that have been laid here today. When people talk about if you are not in political party, it happened in past administration. You understand? How many people was empowered apart from those chronics to the former governor? It happened here. But we want him to do different things altogether. And I also want you to tell the governor not to be deterred by anything, that he had the support of River people. I am not a simplified member, but I have the support. The governor have my support because we are fighting this cause to liberate the state from the shackles of one-man affair.
Thank you very much. And it brings, talking about the empowerment, I mean, we're trying to explain the development in the state. So Chile Edwin said, those who mean well for people should be part of the election. Richard says, my question is simple. There's a lot of complaints from the people concerning how the councillors of various wards were selected, especially Ward 6, where the question is coming from. Please clarify the rumors. Okay. that many said there was selections and not elections. Well, I know that parties have their ways and different ways they might decide to want to pick their candidates. Because of time, we have less than a minute. One of last caller now just said, the empowerment we want to see should not be what we used to see. What should be done differently?
Okay.
Because many have questioned the kind of empowerment some of the CTC chairmen put out as empowerment.
Okay, like the person rightly said, that he wouldn't like the governor to be deterred. Our governor is somebody that is focused. He's somebody that is pragmatic. He's somebody that also knows the rule of law. And I believe in the area of empowerment, all the 23 local government CTC chairmen that have been projected to working with their various council have been given a stern and straightforward instruction from the governor, and empowerment is one of those. I was opportune to also hear from the governor saying that they should go and do the right thing. The governor is a man that if he says yes, his yes is his yes.
All right, Mr. Precious, thank you. But that's how we wrap it up. We have to go for a commercial now, and then Hello Port Harcourt is next. Good morning. Stay with us.
And you wake up in the morning, you want to start